All right, let's talk about the future of peptide treatments, because we're standing right on the edge of a massive shift in this world. Seriously, the way we think about, develop, and even use these things is about to completely change. We're moving way beyond what's possible today.
So to really get a sense of just how big this leap is going to be, you have to know where we are right now. And right now, researchers are working with about 15 different peptides. That's it, just 15. Think about that. That's the entire toolbox they have to create all these new treatments.
But as you can see here, that number is due to explode. And that's not just an exaggeration. So what's lighting the fuse for this explosion? Well, it really boils down to two huge innovations that are changing the game.
Okay, so the first major breakthrough is a whole new way of putting these things together. It's a concept called stacking. And let me tell you, this is way more than just mixing a few things in a bottle. This is some next-level chemical engineering.
So that brings up the big question, right? What in the world is peptide stacking? The name sounds pretty straightforward, but the science behind it, it's actually incredibly sophisticated. And that sophistication is exactly what's going to unlock so much new potential.
Basically, stacking is the science of taking 4, maybe 5 different peptides and figuring out how to make them all play nice in a single solution. And the magic word there is engineering. See, peptides can be kind of fussy. They can interfere with each other or just fall apart. So to create a single formula where they all coexist and stay effective, that's a huge scientific win.
And making a stable stack is, a massive challenge. First, you've got to get the pH level just right so the whole thing doesn't just disintegrate. Then you have to make sure the different peptides aren't all fighting for the same parking spot on your cells, the same receptors, which would just make them useless. And after all that, the whole mixture has to stay stable over time. It's an unbelievably delicate balancing act.
Okay, so the science is super complex, right? But here's the twist. The entire goal of all this complexity is to make something incredibly simple for the person actually using it. This is where all that hard work in the lab really starts to pay off.
And this just lays it out perfectly. Just look at the difference. The old way, you're juggling like 5 different bottles, trying to get the amounts right, maybe doing multiple injections every single day. The new way, it's one bottle, one powerful, perfectly engineered solution, one single, simple application.
And that, right there, is the whole point. All of this incredible science is focused on one thing: making life easier and better for the consumer. When you take away the complexity, you make these powerful therapies accessible. It's something people can actually stick with in their real lives, which means they're way more likely to get the benefits.
But wait, the innovation doesn't just stop with what's inside the bottle. The other huge leap forward is totally rethinking how we get these peptides into our bodies to begin with. Yeah, we are finally moving beyond the needle. The new technologies coming out are so much less invasive. We're talking about things like easy-to-use pens, or buccal films that you just stick to the inside of your cheek and they dissolve, and even sublingual drops that you just put under your tongue. So, when you put these two huge breakthroughs together, you've got the smarter, stocked formulas and the simpler, non-invasive ways to take them, you really start to see a clear picture of what's coming. And it's a future where treatments are not only more powerful, but also way more precise and just a whole lot easier to use. And honestly, this quote just nails it. Putting these technologies together isn't just a small improvement, it's blowing the doors open to a whole new world of possibilities. And you can really feel that excitement building in the scientific community.
So that leaves us with this one last, really interesting question to think about. When these incredibly effective, personalized treatments become as simple as taking a vitamin every day, what does that do to our whole idea of health and wellness? What's the next big thing after that?